Todd, and this is my boy Owen, and
welcome to Movie LaBuffs.
Yeah, so we did the potential next year Academy Award winner.
That's a high order.
It could be
Thunder Force.
Thunder Force. I think it could be. Yeah.
Yeah, Thunder Force with Octavia Spencer and Melissa McCarthy. That's been like probably everyone's seen it on Netflix, and it's kind of been advertised around and stuff. It looks terrible.
Yeah,
we've talked about it before in recent episodes, and never did I think we would watch it. I think we were.
Bottom line is, we ran out of shit to watch. All right, the theaters need to open up, and you need to start putting some better shit out there because there's nothing to fucking watch. But either way,
I did kind of want to see how bad it was too.
I did too. I was curious myself.
Yeah, it
didn't disappoint, did it?
No, it did not. Like I said, it stars Melissa McCarthy and Octavia Spencer. Jason Bateman is also in it.
Bateman is in it, yes.
And it was directed by
Ben Falcone, I believe it was.
Yes.
Which is actually Melissa McCarthy's husband.
No way.
Yeah. So you may know him. He's in. He's always in all of her movies, right? I guess this is how he eats, right? Like he's like. If you look at his IMDb, he's always just in Melissa McCarthy movies. I always get him confused with Charlie's perverted uncle from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He kind of looks like him, but it's not Uncle Jack. Sorry,
Uncle Jack.
But it's not Uncle Jack. It looks like him.
Small hands.
Small hands. But anyway, yeah. So.
Oh, he did The Boss.
Yes.
As well.
The Melissa McCarthy one. That was his first one. No, Tammy was his first one. That was also Melissa McCarthy one. So basically, he just directs Melissa McCarthy movies. They're like a comedy duo.
Yeah, maybe they met from Tammy. Maybe
no, he's been with her forever.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, like he's in Bridesmaids with her. He's the airline marshal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
cool.
they've been together for a while. Fun fact about the movie is the opening scene. The girl who plays young Melissa McCarthy is actually their kid.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just thinking it kind of looked like her.
It does look like her, right? I was looking at it and I was like,
the other girl doesn't look like Octavia Spencer.
No, it does not. No, it does not.
It was like weird.
She looks more like she looks more like Octavia Spencer's daughter.
That's what I thought. Like, is it the same actor? Actually,
but there's too much of an age gap for that to.
Well, because they show the kids when they're like, I don't know, 10, and then they show them again when they're in high school.
Yeah.
So.
Ooh, maybe that is her.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, either way, if it wasn't her, like, they look the exact same. She has the exact same hairstyle and the exact same clothing, which I thought was kind of lame.
It's been 20 years, all right? Yeah. I know they say fashion is cyclical, but come on. Yeah. I mean, we could just dive right into this bad boy. We're not really going to go into...
Yeah, let's dive into it. So it was written by Ben Falcone as well. I just want to mention that. So,
ooh, this is his brainchild, eh?
So that's really interesting. That was one of the most prominent thoughts in my brain while watching this movie.
Was it like, shame on you, Ben Falcone, for fucking writing this garbage?
Well, kind of, because like the script, was terrible.
Oh, fuck, it was so bad.
Yeah. So let me just give a brief synopsis of this movie for anyone that hasn't seen it. Thunder Force is about, regular society, but people start getting superpowers, but the people that get superpowers are all sociopaths. Only sociopaths
get superpowers.
Which
makes no fucking sense.
So the first thing I was kind of like, so does that doesn't really mean they'll all be evil, right?
I mean, there's a plot hole later down the road that I also realized later on.
Okay.
Is that like Bateman's character? It involves Bateman's character?
Yeah.
Yeah, how he's like, I'm not a bad guy. And I was like, I thought I said only sociopath. I was like, all right, whatever. Yeah, I guess that's the kind of proof.
I think you can be a sociopath and not want to kill people.
Also true. Yeah, also true. Yeah.
But, so basically the only people with superheroes are bad people. And Octavia Spencer is a scientist who is trying to create some formula that can give other people superpowers so they can fight back. Melissa McCarthy is her best friend, who's a goofball and not smart.
So she's like basically every fucking character that you've ever seen her play.
And so she accidentally takes the formula and she gets superpowers. Octavia Spencer gets superpowers. And then they fight the bad guys. That's Thunder Force.
That is fucking Thunder Force in a nutshell.
Yeah, and this is the thing that... Okay, so the biggest problem with this movie is like the tone. I can't figure out what it is.
Is it a comedy? Right? Is it an action movie?
Because there's some, I don't want to give this movie any credit, but there's some parts of it, like when Jason Bateman shows up and he has crab claws and then he does the crab claw walk.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's kind of funny. And this is like, if you do more of that stuff, you have like, you can make a decent comedy out of it.
Well, here's my issue is that what happens is that I really like Bateman's character out of all of them because, I mean, maybe that's just me. I'm partial. I really like Bateman in general.
Yeah.
But I can't, I never have been a huge fan of Melissa McCarthy. Like, I've always been like, I'm not a big fan of like the physical comedy, like the falling down and like stuff like that. Leave that to the professionals like Farley. But yeah, and that's kind of all the movies she ever makes are, and it's always this one note character, and it never changes. And then once again, it's the same thing again. And I know it tries to be like this empowering thing, where it's like related, but it still feels like it's
and
like
they're bigger is another thing. It's like, look, big ladies can be superheroes.
Yeah,
but that is also something they don't push enough. They just so happen to be, and you have to kind of make your own.
They kind of, I see what they're doing. They're kind of trying to make you be like, it's okay for blah 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 society, whatever, blah blah blah.
But they don't really talk about it in the movie. If they did, it would be better and it would make more sense. Like if other people around them are more successful than them because of maybe like, I don't know, who they are, their weight, maybe that they're women in a business like scenario or something, but they don't do any of that.
Yeah.
So you kind of just it doesn't really impact the movie in any way.
Yeah, it's just like,
the one thing that's like this sexist moment in the movie where it's like to show that the bad guy's sexist, he literally calls them nagging chicks. It's like the most like either like cliched or unoriginal way to have a sexist line.
I think he was like, this is also where the movie, like the biggest issue I had with the movie is, it says it's PG-13, but why does it feel like it's made for 8-year-olds?
So that's the other thing I was wondering, going back to the tone, is who is this movie made for? Is it made for kids? Is it not? Because, you have those moments that are like, oh, this is like directed at children or whatever. And then
you have those moments that are like, this is kind of more for like teenagers, adults kind of thing.
Or just that like kids won't be interested in the shit that's going on. Maybe they are. Maybe it is. But yeah, like you said it's PG-13, so I didn't know that, and that does seem like they should have made it PG. Yeah, they don't really know where they're landing with it.
Yeah, I think Netflix does that a lot, where Netflix is like, they want to make stuff, but they're afraid to do it like as an adult show, because then other people aren't going to watch it, or like, like kids,
that's a good point,
because they're alienating another market that they have. It's kind of like with Sweet Tooth, that's an R-rated. It's an R, like it's a very like gory, like graphic novel, but Netflix turned into a fucking kid show. And it's bad. Oh, it's so bad. There's like Mumford & Sons songs in it. It's so shit. But it's like, from what I've seen, like I haven't read the comic actually, but from the comic art and stuff that I've seen and I've read about, it's nowhere near the same. And I was like, why are you sugarcoating stuff? But it's to get a broader audience, right?
Yeah, they did that with something else too that I'm blanking on, like Castlevania maybe.
Oh yeah, no, not Castlevania. Castlevania was pretty legit.
Or Death Note maybe.
Yes, Death Note. That was the one. They made that into like a kid's, like a more like a kid, like like not family friendly, but like PG-13 like ish. Yeah,
and they've done that a few times. Yeah, Cobra Kai, I will say, kind of like is like they did the right thing there.
Yeah, because Cobra Kai, I feel, but the Karate Kid movies were PG-13 to begin with. Right?
Yeah, so yeah, what I mean there is how they did it right is like now all the people that watched Karate Kid are now in their 30s, and so they give us those characters that we know, and the 30-year-old people can watch and like it. But it is also, there's the high school kids in it. And they really make it so the high school kids can connect with the show too. So that's how you kind of do those two.
Yeah, they kind of bridge the gaps. Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and there are some shows that are very good at doing that, right? Like,
I will say it's difficult for sure. Even like when you're Cobra Kai, there's still those moments.
Where you're like, am I watching a fucking teen drama? But then you're also kind of like, you're like, it still reminds me of the Karate Kid, and it's like,
I do actually really like.
I think it preys on nostalgia, right? Like what you feel, like.
But not too much. Like I will say, it doesn't prey on nostalgia like too obsessively. They still make it its own thing.
Yes,
I think the only preying on nostalgia thing is that they have all these characters that come back, but that's cool to see, and they do unique things with the characters. They're not the same characters again. So I think that that's a better way to use nostalgia, whereas like some recent things that just prey on nostalgia, you know, are shit. Like, I don't know.
Like the fucking Star Wars movie.
Yeah, like the Star Wars movies, yeah.
Or, what else here?
Like how the first Star Wars, like the seventh, whatever, episode 7.
Is just 4.
The first of the new ones, whatever, is the same exact
Hey, don't
plot
get it
as
twisted.
the original.
8 is 5 too, so don't worry. The second, whatever the fuck that one was called.
Why is the only plot thing they can come up with is there's a bigger Death Star?
I don't
It's
understand.
so easy to just write something else. Have a different conflict. Like,
You're one of the biggest fucking media companies in the world. You're telling me you can't get someone to write you like a new, like something new? Like,
yeah.
like,
But that's a whole other episode long
Yeah.
discussion we
but
could have about
it's
Star
funny
Wars.
though, because I do feel it comes back into that where it's like, they're just like, okay, but as long as we put shit that people remember and like,
Yeah.
they'll be like, oh, I remember that. Like, oh, that's cool. Like,
True.
yeah, like it's like, yeah, it brings you back, right? But
Before we get into the plot and the meat and potatoes,
the meat and potatoes.
Let's talk about the performances by Melissa McCarthy and Octavia Spencer. I want to start with Octavia Spencer because she's an Academy Award winner. She won the Academy Award for The Help. She was nominated for Shape of Water.
Yep.
And I think a couple other times.
Well, she just recently played Harriet Tubman, I believe, actually, too, in like a Harriet Tubman movie.
She in that one. Okay,
I believe so. Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
And she's so bad in this.
I
too.
know. I feel like she was just in it for the paycheck.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think
though.
everybody
Do you
phoned-
think she wants to do? Do you think she's doing like I want to do a fun movie?
Family movie, like,
Yeah.
I don't
Or
know.
is it just a paycheck?
It could be the paycheck. Because people usually have, I find that like actors of that like stature, it usually takes enough money for them to be like, okay, like I'll do this shitty movie, right? Like,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, she's not
But even like she seemed like she was.
phoning it in. Like she just didn't want to be doing
She was
this.
just giving a poor performance.
Yeah,
like
she didn't
wasn't
care.
trying. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And can you blame her? I would have read that
No.
script and been like, are you fucked?
But- You're right. But it still would be nice to.
Well, maybe she didn't want to upstage Melissa McCarthy. It's true. Melissa McCarthy is really the star. Like,
Yeah,
that's
but-
what was making the money here. Like, that's what's.
But they have different roles. Melissa McCarthy is the comedy in it. Or, well, I guess they're both comedic characters, but Melissa McCarthy is like the goofy one, and then
Actually,
she is
the
like
logical
the way
one.
too
too
serious one, which
Yeah. The
Comedy
Odd Couple, right? Your classic,
Yeah.
like, mismatch, like, this one's goofy, this one's too serious, like, kind of thing. It's like, we get it, Falcone. Like, you've seen a fucking cop movie. Like,
Falcone.
we're just looking at his fucking dumb face right now.
What a hack.
What a hack. Well, I didn't know he wrote all those other movies. And fuck that shit. Now that I know he's writing these things, like, is this guy just the Tyler Perry of white people? Like,
Could be.
Like,
Yeah, it was very strange, the script, I will say.
yeah.
Yeah. It was just bad dialogue.
The jokes were awful.
Jokes were awful.
They ran too long.
So yeah, let's talk about Melissa McCarthy.
I will say this though, before we get into her acting, talking about her acting. I will say this: she lost a lot of weight, and she looks way better than like. Not saying that she looked bad before, but like
No.
she looks healthier.
Because
she was getting a
looks
little
great.
big there before, and that's not like I'm not saying like as a health thing. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
for her, yeah,
Definitely, yeah, she looks great. Actually,
she looks way better, yeah.
Yeah, so she is. I will say that she's trying in this.
She
movie.
is. She clearly is. I noticed
Yeah.
that too. Like she's like putting it forward, like But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's just you just get Melissa McCarthy, where it's just like, hey, oh,
Yeah, well, she's like a performance act. Well, like a kind of like a clown comedy actor.
yeah,
Like slapsticky.
yeah, like Farley-esque.
like Farley.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she really does that in this movie with like, the impressions, the the body movements and shit like
Yeah.
that. That's there, and I'm at least happy that you can tell that she's trying.
yeah.
Well, Octavia Spencer isn't, but But yeah, and there's like a couple jokes that I'm like, oh, those are okay.
Yeah, you know what? There was a few that I
Yeah.
was like, there was a couple that I had a couple chuckles, and I was like, yeah, okay, that's all right.
I liked her Urkel impression. It went on too long.
Yeah, one would have been fine.
But the one was funny.
The one was funny. I was like, okay, yeah. Yeah,
Oh, and the Jodie Foster.
Oh, the Jodie Foster one was
Right,
kind of
it
funny.
was
She's like, oh,
funny.
you look like Jodie Foster. Like, oh, yeah. I mean, okay, like, let's get real here. Like, I was going to mention something, and I was like, okay, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but, like, are you going to watch, like,
I mean, that's the Netflix thing. Is like people watch everything on Netflix.
yeah, like, I can't give an
So,
endorsement on
I don't-
this.
Yeah, I don't mind going into spoilers right now. Let's do it. We're at 20 minutes anyway.
Yeah, okay, so, fuck, okay, as we obviously already know, like, at this point, they're both superheroes, and, you know, they're trying to fight crime. There's obviously another guy running for mayor who you're just like, okay, clearly the bad guy. Like, what's that?
Why are they always a mayor?
Why are they always running for mayor or something?
And also like, why do you want to be mayor that bad? Like,
It's kind of the same plot as, like, that Date Night movie where, like, have you seen Date Night with Steve Carell and Tina Fey?
yes.
Well, yeah, this guy's running for governor and he's creating crime to make it look like he's cleaning up crime.
Okay.
It's actually the guy from, I can't remember his fucking name, but he's an actor. He's in Dark Knight. Like, he's the guy who, when they're robbing the bank and he comes out, he's like, do you know who bank this is? Like, that guy. But yeah, and like it's the same plot. Like he ends up being like at the
Right.
end, he's like the governor. He's like, I was creating the crime all along, and I've seen it like a couple other times and stuff too.
But he also like he tells people kind of like right away, like in the very next scene that you see.
Oh yeah, he's like, I'm the bad guy. Like,
Yeah, he walks into their place and
like Tony Montana, just like
it's-
let it be known.
Yeah,
right?
sure, I guess. That was the thing about the structure of the script which was really strange. Is like they
Like-
spend half of the movie like training and like becoming superheroes and doing all this backstory, but this
I didn't need.
this movie has no substance. So
Yeah.
you don't need any backstory really.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like you know those books where you flip through the pages and like stuff just kind of like happens like on the bottom, like you know like the guys like the stick figures like where you flip through.
Okay.
That's kind of what this reminds me of. You could have really just put this on like 10 times the speed, and you would have figured you would know the whole story.
That's so true.
Like because it was just so stupid. Like it was it was just poor writing. It feels like it feels like this guy banged this out in like 2 days. Like
that is
2 days is being generous. I
that's-
feel like I could have banged that out in a day.
That's an accurate, way to put it for sure. Because everything that happens is very like formulaic. Nothing's.
Well, how long did they spend doing that training montage? A training montage is
I
supposed to be
know.
5 minutes. All right, you need a song, you know, a kick-ass
if
little.
5 minutes even, but like they spent a lot of time on it.
That was like a fucking 15-minute.
It was like 15 minutes.
That was like the bulk. That was like a quarter of the fucking movie.
Yeah, it was very, very strange. That whole. They could have just, like, she could have accidentally taken the formula and then go from there, you know?
Yeah.
They really could have cut out.
Why
like,
did they need
25
to?
minutes.
Why is it like, oh, you gotta get 30 doses of this to reach your
And
full.
why did we have to see them at 10 years old becoming friends and then at 15 years old being friends in high school? What was with all that?
Well, I think it's that they grew apart in high school and that they got back together like later, like they were.
Yeah, okay.
So that kind of has a purpose.
But it was still like a very long period of time that they.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
in
like
the movie. Like it took a long time.
yeah, it was like okay, we get it. Like
I can believe that these two were best friends by one small scene instead
yeah,
of like
or just like you know,
several.
Hey, I haven't talked to her in a while because of this and this and this.
Yeah, we used to be best friends.
Well, don't forget that the girl who plays Melissa McCarthy, young Melissa, is their kid, right? Hers and the directors.
Maybe they wanted to give her
screen time. Yeah, probably. Because maybe they'll push.
She did all right, I'll say.
I think she was all right. She was kind of funny. Like it was
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was good.
You know.
Although, fuck, that's the other thing about this movie is like the acting is so bad.
I know.
Like among everyone
Yeah.
involved.
And even that guy was in Vinyl who plays the bad guy. Like I was like, the only one I liked acting was Bateman.
Yeah, Bateman was.
Bateman was just Bateman.
Hey, Bateman's a pro, all right.
Bateman is a pro.
But
yeah.
that's what, when I saw him, actually, I forgot that he was in it, right? And I saw him come on screen and I laughed, and then I was like, Bateman, like, he's a smart guy.
Well, he was
Why
in
is he
Identity
doing
Thief
this?
with Melissa McCarthy. Also Tammy.
So maybe they're friends.
Yeah, he's probably friends with her.
Friends.
That's why they were doing like that whole
It's
romantic.
either friends or you owe them something.
Yeah.
Maybe he owns Ben Falcone.
Oh, maybe, yeah. And he's like, hey, Bateman, can you just be in this movie for me? All right, you got it.
You're gonna have crab claws.
I think you very easily could have, like, I know it's like another Arrested character, but I was like, you could have easily put Will Arnett in that role, and he would have been great in that.
Or the
as well.
mayor. He would have been good as the mayor.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that would have been great. Just like all Arrested Development.
But that was the thing, is like the Bateman scenes were
The Bateman
like,
scenes are funny.
they were funny, and it was like in only those scenes though, it was like, oh, this is like making fun of superhero movies.
Yeah.
But none of the rest of the movie is kind of like that. Maybe they were trying to put that in there, but it didn't feel that
What
way.
was the scene when, because like obviously Bateman forms a relationship with Melissa McCarthy and they go out for dinner, right? And there's that scene where he's like
Oh
sitting there
my
with the
God.
claws, and the guy's like, we have a seafood tower with lobster claws, Alaskan lobster for dinner. And Bateman's like, excuse me, buddy, the claws, or something like that. And I was just sitting there, I was like, how could the fucking waiter not have noticed the guy with fucking crab claws sitting in the goddamn restaurant? And he's walking over, he's like,
Yeah.
hey, yeah, guess what? We're serving fish. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah. That was pretty dumb.
I was like, oh.
Yeah. There's...
I just picture this fucking idiot leaning over, like typing it up, like, like, oh, this guy needs to be stopped. I didn't know he made all those movies. Now I'm just kind of annoyed by it. The problem is that people see them.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I wonder. I didn't really look it up how well this movie did, but I mean, it's Netflix, so you don't really know because they won't tell you. But
I was just smart.
Yeah.
Remember when you used to be able? I remember back in the day when they first started putting out their own content and they had the rating system where it was like, you know, a percentage, and I remember all their stuff was like really poorly rated because, you know, they weren't doing so hot when their original content
we
started.
talked about this in another episode.
Oh, did we? And they took it away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think they should bring that shit back because I think the people need to know if it's shit or not. Like, you know, or they could just listen to the cast and we could sift through the shit for them. You know?
That's true.
I take a bullet for you people, all right? Watching this fucking monstrosity.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Don't watch it. I'm just gonna say that. Don't watch it.
What would you rate it?
Oh fuck, 3.
3.
Maybe 3.5. Maybe 3.5. If I'm being
Okay.
generous.
Yeah.
This thing needs to be fucking thrown in the back of the
Throw,
library.
yeah, 3 is very, very low to me. Well, you know what? I'd probably rate it a 4. So.
Do you know what makes me more mad than anything? Is that they refuse to bring back Mindhunter, but they're still making like this garbage. That's what infuriates
Are
me.
they not bringing back Mindhunter?
Well, they're bringing it back now, but there was a long talk of them not doing it because of the budgetary reasons. And I was like, you just spent all this money on this movie. I was like, put it somewhere else. Put it in your good content. Like, the stuff that's, like, critically acclaimed. Like,
Yeah, Mindhunter's fucking awesome.
yeah, Mindhunter's sick. It might be one of the best Netflix shows.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, it probably is the best Netflix show.
I think it might be one of the best shows I've seen in a long time. I put it in my
Yeah.
top 10.
Definitely.
Top 10 that I've seen in a while. But yeah, there's talks of that not getting renewed for a third season.
And now that guy has to do these shitty movies
Now
like,
he's Bullet.
like Wrath of Man and Greenland.
I drive a truck in this one, I drive a plane in the other. If I'm not doing that, I'm usually solving murders in the 60s.
Yeah, and he's so good in that.
Yeah, that
fucking
g's
show.
sick in Mindhunters. Isn't
Yeah,
he the best?
yeah,
Of all the whole
he's
cast,
awesome.
his
Yeah.
wife, the main guy, that casting, like...
Mhm.
And the worst part is they're building up to like the guy going after the BTK killer,
That's
and then they
right.
cut it, and then they were like, "No, we're canceling it."
Oh my god!
And I was like, "You guys are fucked." I was like, "You built it
Yeah.
up to this fucking huge
I'd
like
be
thing."
so mad. Plus, they have so much like usable content with BTK because like his daughter wrote a book on him. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
And like, there's just like
Well, that
so
guy-
much they could do with it.
Well, the guy from Mindhunter is a real guy, like the detective. It's loosely based on a character.
Yeah, yeah.
But the real guy who he caught the BTK killer, like that was one of the things he caught him. It was like his
Right.
nemesis, right? He chased his Moriarty, if you will, right?
Yeah, that's dope.
And
Yeah.
like that's what they're building to, and like this huge game of cat and mouse, and then they fucking canned it. I will say season 2 was fucking sick too. The Atlanta one,
yeah, it
that was
awesome.
fucking unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like if you're into like if you haven't seen Mindhunters, watch it. Like it's probably the best thing Netflix has ever
100%.
done.
Yeah, yeah.
Like bar none. I will say Master of None also is up there too for me. Master of None is very good.
Master of None is good too. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I guess Netflix did Stranger Things too, right?
Yeah, Stranger Things. Yeah, I mean, season 1 and 2 of Stranger Things I could get behind.
Yeah, I do like them all. I like the second season the most.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't really like it at first when I first saw Stranger Things, but I love it now. But
For the nostalgia factor.
that's the thing, right? We were talking about that earlier. But so I started watching it a bit after everyone else did, and everyone that like knows me well was like, "You should watch this. You'll love it. You'll love it. You'll love it."
Yeah, I remember I told you were gonna like it too, and you're like, I don't know.
Because everyone knows that I love sci-fi and everything, and but that was where like that's what kind of like was a hindrance or something, because when I first watched it, every single thing in it was a reference to something.
Yeah, those references were out of control.
They were out of control, and there wasn't a single original thing in it that I saw.
Yeah.
That there was their own unique idea.
Mhm.
They had that, so I didn't really like it at first. The second season, they add their own original shit to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the second season is with that one, like the giant, like, it's like the spirit one, right?
Yeah,
the big ass thing.
Uh-huh.
Which is like, that was their own content. But I do find in the second season, what I didn't like is that the first season was a lot more mature. Like, it was bordering like an R rating. And then for
you
the
think
second
it went
season,
down?
they were definitely, they don't
Really?
say fuck or anything in the seconds. And they
Oh,
say
do
fuck
do
in
it
the first
season?
yeah, they do a couple
Oh,
times
Interesting.
and shit. And
Yeah,
like,
so maybe it's that thing where they're like trying to get a younger
yeah,
audience.
I think that's the thing. But like, don't get me
I
wrong.
think a lot of younger people watched the first season was what it
Yes.
was, and they saw their demographic
Mhm.
was high with the younger people.
Mhm.
So that, but I like that kind of like.
I
tone.
also think that Netflix didn't know that that was going to be as big as it was.
No, that's 100%.
I think that they were like, okay, we'll make, because I feel like they throw darts at
They
stuff.
took a chance for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like that tone of like the kids getting fucking involved in something way too big for them, like
It's like every 80s movie.
well, that's
Yeah,
exactly
like The Goonies, E.T.,
Exactly.
you know? Like,
exactly, and that's an awesome tone.
Yeah.
So yeah, like even though it might go a little bit more kiddie, I guess is what you're saying. It didn't really bother me that it did.
Yeah, I mean, it's still good. Like, it's still
Yeah,
watchable.
yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. Even last season I watched, I was like, it wasn't the greatest thing, but it was still...
Plus, we don't have those types of movies anymore.
No, we definitely do not. I
So-
think there's a huge, like, demand for that. Like, I think you need...
Problem is what they're making is just the reboots and stuff. Like the new Ghostbusters movie that's coming out is like, yeah, that'll be cool, and that's more of that tone. It's more of
Oh,
like,
the kid from Stranger Things is also in
yeah,
it.
he's in it. What's his name? Wolfhard.
Wolf. Ooh. The kid from the pup video.
Yeah, Wolfhard.
I
can't
just call him
remember
the kid
his
from the
first
pup
name, but it's
videos.
Wolfhard.
You mean
Anyway,
the kid from Stranger Things? No, the kid from the pup videos. Fuck, come on.
yeah, and the Weezer music.
Oh yeah, he plays the Young Rivers.
So they'll probably keep that type of tone, that like Goonies tone, with that, because it's about kids in middle school getting involved with Ghostbusters shit.
Yeah, so it'll be like, yeah, but I'm into that. Like,
I'm
I like
into that.
shit like that. Like,
I'm into that too, but my point is it's just not a new thing. There's no like new things they're doing like that.
no.
Like, I don't know, do people not like, is it just the wrong age for it? Like,
I
why
mean-
in the 80s did they do that so much and they don't do that anymore?
I mean, I haven't seen it, but maybe we should check it out. I mean, at one point, but there's that movie Good Boys that came out like 3 years
But
ago.
I heard it was bad.
Really? I heard it was good.
Okay, really?
Yeah, I never watched it, but like I never got around to seeing it.
All right.
But that apparently had a very like 80s style like kids like coming of age movie, but like it was like a joke comedy, like a raunchy comedy, kind of like Superbad style thing.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently it was all right. Like,
Well, even I remember watching the trailer, and they make reference to Stranger Things in the trailer, and I think from then I didn't want to watch it.
oh really? Because they're like, oh, there's a kid.
They're riding bikes, and this like older guy is like, "Hey, Stranger Things." Like,
Oh yeah, and you're just like,
and I was like,
that's
"That's kind of lame."
whack. No, thank you. No, thank
But
you.
yeah, I mean, I'm down to watch it if you say it's supposed to be good. Yeah.
I mean, I'll check it out. Like, I heard that it was good. I mean, you know, we'll see.
But what else is there? I mean, they did Super 8, but that's also
That's just E.T.
yeah, and that's also years ago, and that is also an homage to
E.T.
E.T. and Spielberg.
Yeah, because that's JJ, right?
Yeah.
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 And that was what, 2011. So yeah.
I think it was earlier
2000, no,
than
this is
that.
2011. I just on the money. Look at those double ones.
She works
High
hard
for the money. But yeah, what was I gonna do? Oh yeah. Yeah, fuck off, Netflix. Leave like the professional show content to HBO and like Showtime and stuff. Like either, yeah, I think they need to figure out what like if they're like making kids shit or they're making adult shit. You know, none of this in between.
Well, yeah,
bullshit.
they just have to pick one demographic or one tone and stick to it.
Yeah, because there was all those lines in this movie where Melissa McCarthy was like shit, and they're like no swearing, and I was like, come on. I was like,
yeah. So that's what makes you think like it's for kids, because that's even a kid joke to be like, don't swear. Like that's a kid joke.
Yeah, and they
right?
swear and shit in like kids movies, like E.T. and stuff. They swore in.
Well,
and stuff.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
It's not like entirely for kids, but like,
Well, yeah, but you can have a couple swear words in a PG movie.
yeah, you get. I think you get one fuck too. You can say
I
shit.
don't know about
I think you can say
PG,
shit.
but
A PG-13?
PG-13 maybe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can say fuck.
They don't
once.
say it in this movie.
Well, maybe they say it at the end.
She almost says fuck when she's doing that at the beginning of the movie when the laser girl's blasting.
Oh yeah,
shit.
she's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
And then
she
it cuts
melts.
out.
What the? Which is also a fucking joke that's been done before. Like that's not.
What the fuck?
Yeah, where you're just mouthing the word "what the fuck."
It's like in
In
Super
slow
Bad.
motion.
It's like in Superbad when Christopher Mintz-Plasse is coming out with the cops and Jonah Hill's just like, fucking Fogel? No, sorry. Calls him something else that's derogatory. I won't say it. But yeah, you know what he says.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been done before, and yeah, I don't know. I think they need to stop doing these things. Like, put your money somewhere else. You know, fix the content. You know.
Yeah, this seems like it could have been a movie that like they did for Melissa McCarthy and Ben Falcone.
Yeah.
It seems like it's their project.
Yeah, they probably went to Netflix and they're like, "Oh,
we
we
have
want
this fun idea."
Yeah, they're gonna be superheroes. One turns invisible, one's really strong. Bateman's got crab arms. You're gonna love it. Like,
Yeah, they're like, "Well, okay, we like you, Melissa. Sure."
yeah, can this other hot chick be in it? Sure. Why the hell not? Like, I don't know. It's just mind-boggling to me that someone would read this and be like, you know what? Fuck it. How much money do you want?
Yeah. I mean, Netflix, they buy a shit for cheap and put it out, so they probably make money off it.
I mean, I feel like they're always making money because I feel like everyone still has Netflix because.
Yeah, they do have to keep up with content, obviously, for people to keep it. Ironically, I got Netflix again to watch this movie. So
Oh, well, they got you.
they got me.
They got you.
Through a loophole, I will add. It was through a loophole. But yeah, that added another sour note while I was watching it.
You were just like, God damn it.
But
I mean,
I need
on the horizon.
Yeah, there's other things I want to
There's
watch
other things
too.
coming out,
Yeah.
but on the horizon, I saw something that in the Stranger Things vein that you might find interesting. I kind of looked into it like briefly, but there's a movie series that's coming up based on a book series from R.L. Stein it's a horror based show, but there's one that takes place in the 90s.
Okay.
There's one that takes place in I think like the 60s, and there's one in like the early 1800s or something like that. Like, but they're 3 different movies, and they're like horror style movies kind of thing.
Oh, there are 3 movies.
Yeah, they
So
come
it's
out.
like an anthology.
Yes, and they're coming out week to
Yeah.
week.
I don't know.
It looked kind of cool. I watched the
Okay.
trailer for it, and I was like, I like R.L. Stein. Like,
Do
even
you?
though as a kid I did. Everyone loves
Yeah.
Goosebumps.
Everyone loves Goosebumps, but were they any good? Really?
The Goosebumps books were all right.
I don't think they were.
The font was the size of a fucking stop sign, but like,
No, I mean, yeah, they were fine. They were for kids, but
the show was all right. The show was creepy as a 10-year-old, 11-year-old. You're like, ooh, viewer
Yeah.
beware, you're in for a scare, or whatever the hell it was.
oh, is that what they say?
Yeah,
that's pretty.
because
good
they had the
line.
intro with the dun dun dun.
Yeah,
dun,
well,
dun.
the intro was dope.
Yeah, and then the dog. Woof,
Yeah.
woof, woof, woof.
The dog,
the little wolf
Yellow,
part.
his eyes turned
Yeah.
yellow.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
Keep it posted. Hey, if it's good, then we'll fucking talk about it on this thing, and we'll let people know.
Yeah, but yeah, looking forward to the movie theaters.
I was like, it'd be cool when some movie theaters open up because like this way we can actually watch like legitimate stuff. I was going through the list of like.
Oh, you're saying Thunder Force isn't a legitimate?
I mean, oh god. I mean, I was going through the list of all the stuff that's coming. I mean, there's some good shit coming out, but like, it's not until later. All the stuff I keep seeing, I'm like, oh no. But
It's coming.
I mean, like, what's a big title that's going to be out like with the movie theater stuff now?
Well, A Quiet Place 2.
A Quiet Place 2,
We
yeah.
talked about.
I mean, Dune's not until October.
Oh, Dune, yeah.
That's in
What
October.
else is there? There's something else. That jungle movie.
What, Jungle Boogie?
With The Rock. And
Jumanji?
No, it's like a jungle movie.
What? Oh, you wrote in The Rock,
I just
eh?
wrote Rock.
You wrote Rock,
I don't
eh?
know why I thought he'd come up.
I mean,
He is The Rock.
Jungle Book featuring The Rock.
Big Trouble in Little China.
What? Are they remaking that? With The Rock instead of Kurt Russell?
Oh, Jungle Cruise.
What?
You've never heard of this? It's like a Pirates of the Caribbean style movie.
It looks like a Disney ride.
It is. Like, I don't know if it's a ride, but that's the type of movie it is.
Oh, maybe it actually is a ride at Disneyland.
It's Disney, so.
Oh, it
yeah,
is
actually, it probably is a ride. It's called Jungle Cruise.
Jungle Cruise? Yeah, it probably is. Like Pirates of the Caribbean was a ride, right?
It has to be. Yeah, so anyway, it is. It's Jungle Cruise Magic Kingdom attractions.
Oh, fuck.
Riverboat attraction, yeah.
Do you think it's going to be like the same, it's going to follow on the same lines as like Pirates of the Caribbean where they'll like make like 7 movies after this? Like about this boat cruise?
It's possible.
That's some creative writing right there. Like how do you write that?
How much can you really add to a boat cruise? How much material can you get out of a boat cruise?
Well, it looks like there's like some like lions and stuff along the, kind of looks like Anaconda, you know, like as the boat goes down.
It's a tiger, Todd.
Oh, my eyes are bad. Lions, tigers, bears. Oh my.
All right.
Same shit. Oh yeah, that's the main thing. The main.
You know what I thought would be funny to do, perhaps, because the drive-ins are open.
Yeah.
Maybe we could watch one at the drive-in.
And just record as you. Yeah, I'd be in.
I'll come back and record.
Yeah. Okay, I'd be into that. Yeah.
I don't know. Get Luke to take us or something.
Oh yeah, he's got a car. I was like, the driving requires a car. That's one of the main things, right?
We can't just walk there and sit down.
Yeah, I've done that before. I used to sneak into the drive-in all the time. My buddy used to live behind the 5 drive-in in Oakville. And we used to walk through a cornfield with a bunch of chairs and just go to theater screen 1, which had a giant park there. And you just put your chair down in front of all the cars and you sit down. And there's sound coming out of there. Free movie. Done and done. None of this sneaking in the trunk bullshit.
Nice. That's one way to do it. That's for sure. So, what else do you want to say about Thunder Force?
I mean, outside of like, just don't watch it. I mean, listen, anyone with a brain probably saw that trailer and was like, ooh, no.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, it's very rare that I see a trailer that I'm like, this is not good. This will not be good. Like,
yeah, could this hurt Octavia Spencer's career?
I hope not.
I mean, it probably won't.
No, I mean, everyone does a shitty movie, right?
Yeah.
Except for Daniel Day-Lewis or Leo. And before you say, like, oh, Leo's made shitty movies, he has not. It's like,
we talked about this already. I said The Beach.
The beach is chill. Right? Everyone likes the beach, all right? There's those people.
Everyone likes the beach.
There's those people who don't like the beach, all right? And I don't get them. Like, you know, everyone likes the beach.
All right.
What's a big upcoming thing that like I'm excited for? Like, you know, like, but it's so hard. Like obviously there's
just shit opening in the world.
Well, that 007 movie's supposed to come out. That's supposed to be good.
Is it?
I don't know. It's got to be, right?
But the last couple were terrible. So,
well, I mean, Spectre wasn't great, but Skyfall was sick.
Skyfall was good, but
Spectre wasn't that great.
No, Quantum of Solace was bad.
Oh, Quantum of Solace blows. Casino Royale's chill.
It's all right.
It's got parkour.
I hate the parkour.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I hate the parkour.
I get it, Europe. You like running. Like, who cares? Like, ugh.
You like running,
or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, like in the Euro movies, like if you've ever seen...
there's a French movie that I watched, they do parkour.
Yeah, Banlieue Treize.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
It's pretty sick.
It's called District 13, which is not to be confused with the District 13...
District 9?
Oh, no, I mixed those up, yeah. Yes, but it's called Banlieue Treize. And yeah,
that's
that one...
a good movie.
Yeah, that one is sick, but that one opens with fucking parkour, too.
Yeah, but it's done way better than, like...
The Bond one, yeah.
Yeah, just throwing... The Bond ones, they just throw parkour in there, and it's also like, why does James Bond know parkour? It doesn't really make any sense.
The funny thing is, because I think he's in like French Polynesia or something like that even too, when like that whole parkour thing is going on. Because for some reason in France, they just fucking love parkour. I don't know if it's like...
just because it's a French word, maybe.
Oh, it is a French word. I'm fucking French.
Parkour.
But maybe it's just like the layout of France, right? Where it's everything's really close together, so, you know.
I guess, yeah, they have like walls and
Yeah,
buildings
people
and
run
shit.
up and shit. We don't have that here,
That,
right?
you know what? Like, that could actually be the case. I don't know.
Yeah, like I never see people doing parkour here.
Makes
Also,
sense.
it's lame, but like,
Yeah.
you know, if you want to get exercise, go for a fucking jog. You don't have to
Yeah.
scale buildings.
It's not 2006 anymore.
Yeah, you know, yeah, like parkour. Gainer off the dumpster over the fridge. Parkour. Oh, Gainer. Oh god. Yeah. So we covered a lot of topics here today.
Yeah. We didn't
Parkour-
really talk too much about Thunder Force, but it's really not much to say because it's
It's
just,
probably for the best.
that's the other thing I was gonna say about it too. It was just boring.
Yeah.
Like it was just boring.
Like I couldn't find myself getting sucked into it
I just
at all.
wanted it to be over.
Yeah, I literally sat there and I was like, "Thank God this movie's only an hour and a half." Because anything over that, there would have been a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Definitely, we would have had a fucking problem here. Yeah, you know what? No, I stick by what I said. I'm giving this a fucking 3.5. I don't like, you know.
All right.
I'm sticking
Yeah.
by what I
I'll
said.
give it a 4.
Yeah. So once again, we watched a fucking Garbaggio movie. So
What do you think about what do you think about the choice to make Octavia Spencer like her power is to become invisible, but they make her like so that we can see her, so the audience can see her. They have that weird like
yeah,
shade on
I
her.
was like, yeah. Why couldn't they just do like they did in like fucking
I guess because they wanted to give her screen time.
yeah? Why you disappear?
But that was the worst decision ever to make her power be invisible. Like just choose something else, you know?
Well, her kid had super speed in the end.
Yeah, in the very end, it's
Oh,
like
fuck,
could have just
spoilers.
gave her super speed.
Yeah, but I
Or
don't think it
something
fits her
else.
character.
Okay, fine, but something else. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, just anything. But like invisibility is a terrible thing, especially with when you have 2 people in your cast, like 2 stars, and you make one of them invisible.
Yeah.
That doesn't fucking make any sense, right? So they had to make her, when she's invisible, nobody can see her, but the audience sees her as this like shimmer effect they put on her, and it's
Kind of
fucking
like they
terrible.
did. Kind of like they did. They did it better in Fantastic Four, like with Jessica Alba.
They did one in that. Oh, they made her like
Well, Jessica Alba plays Sue Storm, and that's her.
yeah.
Yeah, that's her. But yeah, she disappears in that one. But you can kind of see the like it's a weird, like it's weird, like the way they do it, but it's kind of cool. Like you can know she's invisible, but you can.
I think that's lame too. I don't think we should see them. Like they're invisible.
Yeah, like Hollow Man.
I don't know.
Like the Baconator when he's murdering all those people. Yo, I forgot about that fucking gem. They
Hollow
remade.
Man?
Yeah, they remade that with fucking the girl from Handmaid's Tale. I saw that on
I haven't
fucking
seen
Crave.
Hollow Man.
Oh, you've never seen Hollow
No,
Man?
I was talking to people about this, and like nobody knows this movie exists.
Hollow Man?
Yeah,
it's great.
I found out about it.
They spoof it in Scary Movie 2.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they spoof it a lot in Scary Movie 2,
Well,
actually.
because it's a bizarre movie too.
Yeah, so what's the plot? Okay, yeah, so they find out a way to make someone... It's okay, plot in a nutshell. If you haven't seen it, it came out in 99. Fucking spoilers, sorry. Yeah, so they find a way to turn Bacon invisible. And they're testing this new project. It's for military purposes. It always fucking is. And then
Yeah.
the Baconator slowly starts to go a little crazy. And I think they say that's one of the side effects of it. And then he just, like... I guess he's already a sociopath before this. Also, once again, don't give the sociopaths powers, you know? But yeah, and then he just obviously becomes more and more evil and then starts killing everybody in the facility, like, one by
Nice.
one, and he's invisible. And obviously, yeah.
Would you recommend Hollow Man?
I mean, if you like a good classic 90s...
It's Paul Verhoeven too.
Oh, cool.
He did like Starship Troopers and
Yeah.
RoboCop
Nice.
and Hollow Man.
Well, they ended up remaking Hollow Man anyway, and, yeah, but with Elizabeth Moss is her name?
Yeah, the Invisible Man.
Yeah, they call it Invisible Man, yeah.
Yeah,
I was like...
that's a remake.
Well, it's just Hollow Man. It's the same fucking thing. The guy turns
Yeah,
invisible.
but it's a different story.
And he's just stalk. No, it's the same thing.
Oh, is it?
It's the
Okay.
same.
Yeah, I
it's
don't
the
know. I
same.
haven't
It's the
seen
same.
Hollow
Con-
Man.
it's the same
Okay.
concept.
Nice.
But I remember seeing that.
Well,
I was like,
apparently people liked that movie, Invisible Man. Did you watch it?
I've seen
Oh,
it.
apparently people liked it.
But that's what's funny. I always like to do that. So that movie came out literally 20 years after that one. So you think they wait the appropriate amount of time?
Yeah.
That like
They
people
do.
haven't seen it, and they're like, okay, now we can get a whole different
We have
genre.
nothing to do. Let's make this fucking movie that nobody saw,
Yeah.
and nobody will see it again.
Yeah. Fuck. I guess that's the case now. I mean, if Netflix does decide to do a Strike Force, but not Strike Force,
Thunder Force.
Thunder Force 2. I would like to write the script for it. I envision Octavia Spencer being the evil bad guy.
Oh,
because
twist.
she's rich, she's smart.
She's a scientist.
Yeah, she's a scientist. Why is she not a supervillain?
Mm.
Why is it some dummy? You know?
Mm.
And then she has to go up against Melissa McCarthy. And
Right.
or Melissa McCarthy's also the bad guy.
Oh, what about her daughter? Because now her daughter has super speed now. So where does her daughter play into this? Maybe her daughter is the villain.
Ooh.
Her daughter's like always jealous of her
Yeah, you could do some stupid
mother
scene.
or something.
You could do some stupid scene where she's like delivering Uber Eats food or something like that, or like packages, and like, wow, that was fast. And then like, yeah, something shitty.
She's just zipping around.
Yeah, zipping around, like, holy smokes, you know. And then Melissa McCarthy's throwing more buses, and she's like, I got it. Like, it writes itself, right?
It does.
He's
It
probably
does.
clacking away on those keys as we speak right now.
Probably is. He's laughing at us.
Yeah, he's laughing
Just
at us.
laughing into our
Laughing all the way to the
faces.
bank. No, they're so rich. Like, they're probably
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
loaded.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
And for doing what? I like, it bugs me. It makes me so mad that I'm like, I could do a better job of this
Yeah, that's
if
true.
afforded the opportunity, but
Yeah, perhaps.
well,
I guess that's gonna be it for Thunder Force.
yeah, so yeah.
Thunder Force.
Thunder Force, Thunder Force. Baby, something kiss from a rose. Play us out, Seal. And this will have Seal
I
playing us out.
forgot they had Seal in there. There used to be a large tower alone on the sea.
Yeah, you know how the song goes.
You should know.
All right, let's call it. That's a wrap.